Hello everyone! Welcome to this game! So, back in 2009, I did a Let's Play of this game, and that Let's Play, well, it was crap. For various reasons. For example, back on that Draw Kirby segment, I originally sung along with it, and that probably wasn't the best idea. I didn't do a good job at it. But there were also some technical aspects that just did not work out. For example, the screen was jittery, the frame rate was questionable. There was also some sort of incompatibility with my capture device and my NES, because I was playing on an actual NES. In fact, I am right now. But this incompatibility wound up causing this crackling noise to happen anytime Kirby got a copy ability or went through a door. Well, not any time. It didn't actually happen too often, but there were a couple of videos where it happened often enough that I had to mute the game audio. Along with some technical problems, there was also one regret I have with my original playthrough. There was this interesting glitch that I tried to take advantage of, and then after about 15 minutes I changed my mind. I want to do a playthrough where I don't change my mind, and that'll be coming eventually, which I will explain in just a bit, but we're about to see Kirby hop onto that warp star and get this game's story, so let's find out the story. One day, the peaceful life of Dreamland was shattered by a mysterious crisis. The inhabitants didn't dream. On the edge of Dreamland, dreams and hope once gushed forth from the Dream Spring, fueled by the Star Rod. Investigating the Dream Spring, Kirby found naughty King Dedede swimming in its magical waters. Dedede had broken the Star Rod and given the pieces to his friends who are now hiding in Dreamland. Did the title up there change when it went to that window? Anyway, to bring back the lost dreams, Kirby sought the Star Rod. And that is the story of this game. There's a little bit more to it if you read the instruction manual, but it's not important. Not yet anyway. I see my original file from my original playthrough is still here, and I guess this file here was one my twin sister was using, because she's the one that had the game last. Well, I'm going to ignore both of these because they're used. We're going to go ahead and go to the new file. So, Kirby's Adventure. This was the first Kirby game in which he gained his copy ability, and they're kind of making a big deal out about that. For example, as we head into level 1, we come across Waddle Doo, and he gives us our first copy ability, Beam. There's actually a few copy abilities in this first segment. Along with Beam, we also got Spark, which is pretty good, because it's like an electric shield of sorts. And, of course, over here, I accidentally spit the guy out. Whoops. Well, we'll come back to that guy eventually. Now, what's the game plan for this playthrough? I want to do it a whole lot better than my original playthrough. And the way I'm going to do it... Oh, hey, here you are. The way I'm going to do this is... First, I'm going to do a 100% run of this game in order to unlock hard mode. And then for hard mode, I'm going to be doing a glitch run. Not only taking advantage of the glitch I was talking about, but also a glitch that my twin sister has brought to my attention. By the way, there's an interesting secret down here. There's a UFO. Only a few of these in this game, and they're like super powerful because they can zoom all over the place and they have a variety of attacks. Also, enemies respawn, just so you know. One of the glitches I'm going to be taking advantage of is definitely going to use this power. And if you know anything about Kirby's Adventure's glitches, you might have an idea of what glitch I am talking about. But again, that'll come later. For now, I just kind of want to do a normal playthrough, try out all the different abilities, because if I do a glitch-only run, I'm going to kind of regret it, because it'll be boring only using the 2 glitches. Anyway, right here we got ourselves our first minigame, Crane Fever. Use the buttons to move the crane and try to get a Kirby. A big one's hard to get, but worth it. So we want the pink ones, not the yellow ones. The yellow ones aren't real. I'm gonna go for the big one. Let's see if I can get it perfectly. Nope. If you get it pixel perfect right above it, you are able to get it guaranteed. Otherwise, there's a chance where it will just fall. The big one is worth 2 lives, the little one is worth 1 life. This is not looking good. Aww. I'll get it eventually. Not that I really need the lives. Now then, onward to the second stage. There's gonna be another power-up right up ahead. Not you. I mean, you are one, but you're not the one I'm looking for. You are. Cutter. So by the way, if you pause the game, it gives you information about the different abilities. I'll give you a little bit more detail on that in a bit. First, I want to point something out. So we've reached the end of this map. We need to hop on the warp star in order to access the next room. Or, if I inch off screen there, I just made the warp star disappear. Which means suddenly the screen is no longer locked to it and I can come over here and find a little Easter egg. Hal. Interesting. So Hal is the creators of Kirby. If you thought Nintendo was, no. Nintendo owns Hal, which is why you don't see Kirby on other systems, but no, it's Hal that owns Kirby. It would be interesting, though, if someday Nintendo lost ownership of Hal and Kirby wound up on, like, the Xbox. Wouldn't that be something? Anyway, fighting the first mini-boss, Poppy Brothers Sr., and like a lot of enemies, I can steal his power. And I wind up getting Crash. It only has 1 use, as you can see, so I want to use it. Well, I basically just want to use it here. Get a bunch of points by killing all these enemies at once. Fun times. Speaking of using powers once, here's the thing about Kirby's Adventure. Since this was his first adventure in which he had all these copy abilities, they're not quite as robust as future games. Like starting in Kirby Superstar, I believe, you could do all sorts of things with, like, just your fire attack. You could roll into a fireball, you can dash across as fire, and of course you could breathe fire. But in this game, they just get 1 move for the most part. UFO is like one of the only exceptions. That said, what this game lacks in robustness, it makes up for in the amount of abilities this game has. Like, as you can probably tell by the border that I have set up around the screen, there are a lot of copy abilities in this game. For example, Sword. Let's see here, Sword. Use the sword to defeat enemies. If you attack in midair, Kirby will spin and slash. So this is one of those moves that has more than 1 attack to it. It has 2. Still not as robust as future games, but still pretty interesting. By the way, if I make it up to the top of this, I get a 1-up. I'm sure it'll happen at some point in this playthrough. Alright, next level. Once again, I want to mention that I am playing on an actual NES, And I have a much better capture card, because the video quality here, I'd say, is pretty dang good. That said, there are alternatives to the NES game. For one thing, there is the Game Boy Advance remake. They update the graphics and music, and well, that's basically it. Well, there are a couple of other details. For one thing, they change out the mini-games. The 3 mini-games in Kirby's Adventure, they replaced with different mini-games for the sake of having multiplayer mini-games, and that's kind of a bummer. The mini-games that they put in the Game Boy Advance remake aren't bad. Oh. They're not bad, it's just, it would have been nice had they not gotten rid of the minigames we already had. Imagine if we had 6 minigames instead of the original game's 3. But no, they just replaced this game's 3 with a different 3. By the way, in case it wasn't obvious, if you get hit whenever you are underwater, your power is pretty much gone because you cannot suck underwater. If you get hit any other time, you can chase down your power and hopefully get it before it disappears. Oh, there we go. I knew I would get this at some point. Along with the Game Boy Advance game, there's also a couple of virtual consoles. Wii, Wii U, 3DS. So those are an option. Here's the museum. Here is the colorful display of enemies with special abilities. Eat the one you want. Well, there's only one, so I guess I'll take... You know what? No. Actually, I'm gonna keep the fire because there's another mini-boss who may or may not be weak against fire coming up. But for the sake of demonstration, this is really just a display. You cannot take damage from it, and he will not attack you. By the way, there is yet another option if you wanted to play this game. Kirby's Dream Collection on the Wii. It is an anniversary collection featuring Kirby's Dream Land 1, 2, 3, Kirby's Adventure, and Kirby 64 and Kirby Superstar. I actually do have that collection, but I chose to play the original NES version because, well, for one thing, the NES version on the collection and also on Virtual Console, for some reason, is darker. Oh, I did not want to suck my power back in, because that means I don't get the power I was trying to get. Oh well, this will still work. Yeah, I don't know why Virtual Console games are darker than the originals. I mean, this is pretty bright. Why not on Virtual Console? Okay, now I get you. Not much use anymore, but now I get you. Alright, so I just got invincibility from Meta Knight. He's new to this game, by the way. Kind of an interesting character, especially in this game, and you'll find out why as we go along. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to have an issue with 1-ups. No risk of game over. Anyway, we are now at the first boss. And like any good Kirby game, the first boss is our good friend Wispy Woods. And that's that. And now we get to collect a piece of the Star Rod. It actually looks like a whole Star Rod to me. I wonder if they broke it apart long ways. Anyway, we collect this, we get our Kirby dance, and that'll be the end of level 1. So, I'm going to be taking an episode break here. Going to basically have an episode per level. So, with that in mind, we will be right back. And when we come back, I will be starting up level 2. Ice Cream Island. That sounds like a tasty place. A whole lot more tasty than Vegetable Valley.